instead of blitzing cars anonymously." The invitation was too much for the young man. "Good idea. We'll do that," he waved back, a smile plastered on his face. Muttering, the man started to drop the pamphlet on the ground, hesitated, and then tossed it into his car. "He took it," Kent said gleefully. Sarah frowned. "Did not. He just didn't want to drop it. Those professor types never litter." "Doesn't matter. He took it." The young man fished a campus map out of his backpack. "Come on, let's go to the student center." He looked up, scanning the buildings. "I think it's right over there." "No, Kent. Let's just do the cars." But he was already heading in long strides for the exit stairs. She sighed and followed. Under other circumstances, she'd enjoy a stroll around the Big Ten University campus, which had been practically in her backyard all her life. The grounds were beautiful this time of year. Soaring spires mixed with modern architecture, graceful willow trees coming into bud, swaying in the breeze. Lake Michigan lapping along the boulder-studded shoreline, flowering bushes and winding walks everywhere. Why hadn't she applied here? Her grades and SAT scores had been top-notch. She'd graduated from a prestigious high school here on the North Shore 2 years ago. But what was it Kent had said? "You gotta decide what's most important, dedication to the cause, or getting a so-called education watered down by all this politically correct mumbo-jumbo." Right. She admired Kent's dedication to the cause. He'd taken her under his wing when the popular girls at New Trier acted as if she didn't exist. He explained things to her, told her people had a right to stick up for what they believed. She just didn't like conflict and confrontation, that's all. They found the Norris University Center along the narrow campus drive and pulled open the big glass doors. "It's Sunday," she murmured. "Won't be many students." "That's okay," he said. "More opportunity to leave the truth unhindered." He headed for the nearest bulletin board, crowded with flyers announcing everything from roommates needed to frat parties to the next theater production. "Heathens," Ken muttered, punching a pushpin into the bulletin board, leaving their pamphlet front and center. They scurried down the wide stairs to the ground level, where Willie's Food Court, a cafeteria-style eatery, and Willie's, too, dispensing gourmet coffee, sub-sandwiches, smoothies, and pizza, opened out into a large room with square wooden tables and booths along the far windows looking out over the northwestern lagoon. Several students sat at the scattered tables with drinks or sandwiches, talking or studying. Kent straightened his tie and approached the first populated table. "I think you'll be interested in these facts." He thrust a pamphlet at a young woman bent over a large textbook. The student glanced at the paper he held out to her. Her eyes narrowed. "Get that out of my face, or I'll call the campus cops." He barely flinched. "Not open to the free exchange of ideas?" I thought, "I mean it. Get away from me." The student grabbed her book and flounced to a table on the far side of the room. Sarah tugged on her companion's sleeve. "We should have worn casual clothes," she murmured anxiously. "They know we're not students, dressed up like this." Kent ignored her and headed for 2 male students in T-shirts slouched in one of the booths, watching the hanging TV. One ignored them, eyes glued to the ball game. The other took the pamphlet, shrugged, and tossed it on the table. Sarah was relieved when they finally left the student center. At least it was Sunday, no classes. The campus proper was practically deserted. But as they pushed open the double glass doors, Kent studied a bright flyer taped to the glass. "See that? There's a jazz fest going on. It's got to be over soon." He studied his map. "Come on." Grabbing her hand, they followed the sidewalk signs pointing toward the Pick Steiger Concert Hall. The wait wasn't long. Soon, a rowdy, laughing mix of students in shorts and bare midriffs, dreads, and buzz cuts pushed through the glass doors of the concert hall, rubbing shoulders with jazz fans from the local community. Once again, Kent dug into his backpack, pushed a stack of pamphlets into Sarah's hands, and hustled to catch up with any moving target. Sucking up some courage, the girl...